Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It's Sunday Fun Day right here at the PGL Quake Champions Open. 2 days ago, we started with 55 players, got dropped down to 16, and then we went from 16 to 8 in groups yesterday. But with our remaining playoff players, there's no Bucharest for the wicked. We're going to be looking at some fantastic matches today. Everybody's been conversing, arguing, predicting, and generally being probably inaccurate about predictions for today. Who can tell what's going to happen? I certainly can't. I don't know if Flea or Jason can either.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be close. The players that we have here, I think many of them were expected. After all, 6 out of the 8 finalists today did make it through the upper brackets on day 1 with ease. So I think that many people did expect the players that we're seeing. There's a few dark horses in there, or one primarily serious, but it's too close to call.
I think I've been able to actually get the predictions right. My third eye is telling me who's going to win the tournament, and unfortunately I can't release that information because if anyone's betting on the games, I don't want to be biased. But no, this has been a great tournament so far. It's been our first real hardcore dual tournament of the year. It's been almost one of the first of Quake Champions, and it's been great to see some consistency kind of rise into the ranks of Quake because so many people have been winning different tournaments. We haven't had that consistent winner except maybe Clawz with winning Quake Con 2017 and winning 18 with Duel. And then for me, this is the time to see who the top echelon players are and if they can maintain that position.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were a lot of people online saying that Quake Champions is pretty random at times and that you see a lot of people win that might not deserve to win. But I think that these brackets and the players that we're having here today really prove that wrong.
People will say that no matter who wins.
Absolutely,
by the way. That's the great thing. The salt levels have been rising a little bit, and to be honest, over the past several years with Quake Live, it came down to this core group of players who would generally be at QuakeCon every year, and because there was 16, 30 of them, everybody would be pretty polite to each other. Everybody was pretty comfortable. There wasn't a whole lot of stress. Yeah, you would want to do well. But here at this tournament in particular, we're seeing more anxiety about oh, I got to prove myself to this guy, or I have to be prepared for this match. And we're really seeing some differences in players depending on, how cool-headed they are or not.
I mean, you also think about it, comparing Quake Live to Quake Champions, the money that you can win has just drastically increased. The viewership has drastically increased. And talking to Chain last night, he was saying, it's really hard to play on stage. I think he was saying he was happy he wasn't playing on stage much here because he doesn't want that pressure on you. And in his opinion, one of the most important things about being able to come to LAN and to perform is to be able to keep that composure when you're playing on a stage or playing in front of a crowd.
Absolutely. I mean, we were looking at the stream stats yesterday, and I think that we peaked at around 13K viewers yesterday. So if you're not used to that kind of an audience, that's a lot of extra pressure put onto you.
It is definitely one of the skill sets. I mean, LAN parties are always a big deal of playing all day, having the stress, having people watch you, not only online, but also right behind you, breathing on your neck. Jason, I'm looking at you. But it's a difficult thing, but that's what you come here to be able to prove. It's not just in the game. It's also, keeping your head focused. But our top 8 players have been shuffled into the playoff bracket. We had a little bit of a preview last night. Let's take one more look at that as we get ready for our first matches. And we're going to be going through these in sequential order, starting with Clawz and Raisy. It's best of 3 for the quarterfinals. Semifinals forward, best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, we have got the Myztro bracket, so that's the 2 remaining Myztro players that are going to go off.
I bet their org's really kind of annoyed at the drawing of how that worked out for them.
I mean, when you have 18 players, it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eventually, right? Yeah. No, that's gonna be a really good game, actually. And then we have Liquid Rafa up against Sirius, and this is Sirius's first real LAN. I mean, I can't say first real LAN. He did play at DreamHack Tours, but it's his first dual LAN. Yeah. And he's been able to surprise so many people out there and hopefully make a ton of fans as well. His LG is been ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the Sirius train, man. I want to see him do well, and I think he really can.
And of course, a little bit earlier, we saw Clawz and Raisy doing their best poses, trying to look fierce. And if you go out there to the player area, they're actually looking pretty similar to that right now. One of the things that really impressed me about Raisy yesterday was that, right before the match, sitting in front of the PC, he just had his eyes closed, hands folded, looking very meditative, trying to calm himself down. And then, his player cam during the game, he was just looking like, an axe murder.
You could actually imagine he's like Tox's son at sometimes. He just shows no emotion on his face at all when he's playing. And you see the other players from the player cameras. You saw, Kilson getting excited, Cooler as well, Cooler and Base, making hand signs at each other. And then you see Raisy just, well, hold on.
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. It's good to see that he is that composed, at least outwardly. I don't know internally what he's going through when he plays these games, but to be able to keep that composure at such a young age and to have the results like he's been able to have is fantastic for a player.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the personalities reflected in these videos as well, because you've got like the really deadpan calm players, Raisy, Dogs, and then you've got many of the others, and then you've got
Like
those who
Base.
go
And then there's Base, yeah.
absolutely all out, like Base. Still amazing, one of my favorite moments of this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's been just fantastic watching everybody just collaborate together, sharing a lot of tips, being able to share a lot of strategies, and especially if you're getting into a LAN party environment for the first time, that's really what you're here to learn.
Yeah.
And what's great, you know, again, talking to Rafa after his matches yesterday, he was like still there watching matches. He was still there learning from other players. Like, again, you don't really have the, downloading. You don't really have the cross-region play happen that often. Obviously, ping is a major factor, and it comes down to these events. And the fact that Rafa, who's been playing for, it feels like almost longer than I've been alive, to still be learning new things and still be always willing to learn and be open to new ideas is a really cool thing. And I think in general, it elevates every player across the board.
Well, we are going to be learning a lot as we go through our matches today. We're going to be learning a little bit from Raisy right now as we had a chance to grill him with a few questions. Let's check it out.
Hello, I'm Raisy. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Hungary. Currently, I live in Germany. I've been playing Quake Champion since it came out. I haven't played Quake competitively before because I was originally a Counter-Strike player. So Quake was just a hobby that I really liked doing, and so when Quake Champions came out, I gave it a try. It worked out, and ever since then I'm a Quake player. When I was very little, 4 to 5 years old, I played Quake 3 Arena. We didn't have internet back then, so I mostly played against bots. I really liked the game already, but I haven't got to play it seriously until Quake Live came out, and then I played it on a hobby-like level, playing public duel matches against randoms. Originally, I was a Counter-Strike player. I was a semi-professional in that game, but it didn't really work out, and I played a lot of it. I played it for many years, and it was just not working out for me. So when Quake Champions came out and I gave it a try, and I actually managed to qualify for the World Cup, then I decided to leave Counter-Strike behind and continue as a Quake player. I really like Quake's fast-paced game style. I really like the arena type, like that it's an arena type game with fixed weapon spawns, item spawns, that you have to have good positioning, item control. You have to be able to use the weapons, and then now in Quake Champions they introduce different champions with different abilities, so it's a way more action-packed game compared to Counter-Strike in my opinion, and I like it about it. My favorite champion is Sorlag, and I really wish that she was a little bit more viable in this current meta. I miss the CPMA movement. And I also really like Anarchy for the same reason, because they can move around the map very fast and it's just action-packed. I also like playing Clutch because of the way he's very unique in the game style-wise, and it just fits me. I really like the way it is right now, duel mode. The only slight change I would personally like to make is to increase the champion limit from 3 to 5. And the time limit per round from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. But I would leave it as it is otherwise. I don't really have rivalry with anyone, but recently Cypher wanted to play against me during this PGL, and we actually got seeded together in the same group first match. So he got his wish, we'll see how it turns out. I'm okay with it. Other than that, would be nice to beat Rafa on LAN, because I had 2 chances before and I couldn't. Both were really close, both of those matches. So it would be nice to have a chance to play against him again. And also at the Quake World Championship this year, I lost against the Hang, so it would be nice to have another go against him. I'd like to thank my family for all their support and Myztro Gaming for being such an amazing organization and backing me up, getting me here, getting me prepared and all that. And also I'd like to shout out my wonderful girlfriend Ravaline for being by my side.
What a humble and respectable guy there. A little bit of a opposite image from who's sitting opposite from him, Clawz, who, in his own words, is the best Quake Champions player in the world.
You say humble. I say he's bloodthirsty. Didn't you hear him? He's like, I want to beat Rafa. I want to beat Dehang. He's the liquid killer.
Well, yeah, but he knows what he's up against. He wants to prove it to himself. That's good stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Raisy hungry for blood for sure, despite his calm demeanor. Let's take a quick look at the champion bans and map picks, and we are getting Clawz banning Clutch. I think that's no surprise whatsoever, and Raisy going with that Visor ban. As far as map picks are concerned, we're seeing Molten Falls out of Raisy, Ruins out of Clawz, and then Blood Covenant will be our tiebreaker if need be.
Interesting, actually. So we have maps that are not going to heavily favor a champion like Keel, which we know is Raisy's like backup plan if Clutch is banned out. No Veil, no CK, no Awoken, no Blood Run. So I'm actually really curious to see if he's going to stick to the Keel here. We did see him use it on Runes of Sarnath, which was an interesting decision by us looking at it. It doesn't really fit the style of Keel, and I feel like, in general, Clawz has the better map lineup for this.
I would be a little bit surprised to see Keel come out, especially for Molten Falls. But, I mean, champ choice, of course, is going to be absolutely vital. But both of these players coming into it mentally, I mean, Raisy had such a difficult path yesterday, having to beat Cypher twice, and Toxic in the middle there as well. Like, no big deal, right?
Yeah.
But against Clawz, who's just been on a roll, and of course, Clawz has a bit of a reputation now of being, pretty good.
Pretty good. That's one way of putting it.
Taking down Cooler yesterday, and of course, both of them have a lot coming into it. And having the first game of the day, hopefully they're awake, well rested, and ready for the match.
Yeah, and different styles when it comes to warming up as well. I talked to Raisy, who was just sitting on the couch. I'm like, you going to warm up? You got to play soon? He's like, no, I don't like to warm up. I'm like, well, don't you want to like run around the map for 5 minutes, get the movement, wake yourself up? He's like, no, I just do it to test my mouse settings, to see if I feel comfortable. Then on the other hand, you have Clawz, who is sitting down, literally playing like TDM or playing FFA, trying to warm up and make sure his flicks and aim is on point.
The same Clawz who said yesterday that he doesn't practice or warm up. So,
well,
yeah,
it happens.
So getting into champ picks here, we are indeed going to see these initial selections for Molten Falls. We've got BJ and DK coming out with DK on Clawz, and of course he was scary with that DK yesterday against Cooler. And we do have a Keel from Raisy. I will admit I'm a little bit surprised by that. Nyx from Clawz, almost a staple of his. Raisy's got to have something in response.
Yeah, Clawz definitely got a very aggressive play or a lineup. I mean, he's got the DK, the Fire, the BJ with the dual wield, and then he's got the Nyx.
Well, Raisy Nyx.
Yeah.
Not a champion I think we've seen him play all that much of, but he did say that he still had a few tricks up in his sleeve.
It is hard these days to hold secrets with all the streaming going on and all the boot camping going on. But we're about to find out if that Nyx pays off for Raisy up against Clawz. So, guys, I'm going to leave it to you as we get into Molten Falls.
Yep, this is the very first map of the final day. Should be a very good one.
Championship Sunday.
Championship Sunday, yes indeed. 2 clutches, 2 BJs, and then a Death Knight up against a Keel. Surprising pick for this map.
I'm a little bit worried, actually, for Raisy on the Keel, just because of the layout of the map, and because if we have Nyx picked into Keel, it's very easy to keep your distance against him. It's very easy to just get away from him. But also, it's really easy for someone who has the aim like Clawz to just punish that hitbox and punish that lack of mobility that he's going to have. So off the bat, we're going to see Clawz already go for the engagement against Raisy as they round the corner towards each other, trying to deny that LG for Raisy, which he's going to definitely need when it comes to this BJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The LG is a staple of BJ. It's probably the weapon that he does best with, especially since it doesn't throw off the rhythm of your shots, which is a problem that you will probably run into with some other weapons. Clawz actually landing the first 2 rails. He's already got Raisy on the rope. He's trying to chase him down. Heavy will be up first, so this is a really good opportunity for Raisy, but he decides to drop down instead. Clawz will be able to pick up that heavy armor as Raisy loops back around to the Mega Health.
Smart by Raisy as well to not go for heavy there when he did have an opportunity to go for it. Didn't want to give another angle to Clawz, who's already been able to hit 3 of these rails, and a 4th as well. Raisy, you had Mega, but you don't need more, son. And on Clawz, going to be looking to push in from behind. Raisy will be able to survive another rail shot. That rocket going to miss, but he actually pushes directly into him. He's going to counter out that dual wield, though, with that Ghost Swat. Comes in with his own LG. And the first frag going to go the way of Clawz.
Yeah, Clawz getting that one pretty comfortably. Still has plenty of stack left, and now both major items are spawning pretty much instantly. This is really good for the player from Belarus. He can probably claim both of them, although
he wants to. The problem is he doesn't have his Ghost Walk up, and he knows how powerful Ghost Walk can be, especially when it's Nyx v Nyx, and he needs to focus on that. He's like, yeah, you can take Mega. I need to have that safety net because I'm already up that first frag.
Absolutely. Now, Nyx v Nyx, I don't think is a champion lineup that we have seen much of so far, and this is the reason why it is sometimes so fun to see. Because when you are both in Ghost Walk, you can still see each other, so you can see the other invisible player when you are invisible yourself, and that can sometimes lead to some interesting situations. Clawz picking up that heavy, Raisy going back to Mega, and now Raisy has got that huge stack. He is playing Keel, that's the only heavy champion in his lineup. And Clawz is down below, 2 frags up. Raisy at this point still missing some crucial weapons, doesn't have an LG and doesn't have a rail.
66% rail, speaking of that weapon for Clawz. It'll be even easier to hit that against a character like Keel with that hitbox. He's trying to, I think, go pick up LG, and looks like Clawz going to be able to hear it on this one. Again, he has a Ghost Walk up. He has the ability to be aggressive. Heavy going to be spawning back in. He's trying to punish him as Raisy's trying to pick this one up, and he gets it relatively cleanly. He's going to get knocked into the air, and a great Ghost Walk out of Clawz does buy him some time, but he's still low on health.
Yeah, nice follow-up with the rail right there. Raisy getting out, but absolutely not unharmed. He will have Mega to fall back on, but that was a really good play by Clawz. But here he's caught out. No Ghost Walk this time, and Raisy will take him down quick and clean with that LG. 1-2. Raisy still has got some work cut out of him. He still needs to get at least one more frag. Dodging the flames nicely, expertly doing some damage right there. But that's unfortunately going to be round 1 going to Clawz. The trade was not in Raisy's favor.
I do like how smart Raisy played that, though. When he got for Mega, he went straight towards the hourglasses in middle, and from that, he knew Clawz was going to go that direction. He knows how much him as a player likes to get his ability back up, especially on a character like Nyx. So really good read out of Raisy there. Really got to respect that. And now Raisy, he will be down the first round, but Clawz going to be starting off on Nyx yet again.
Clawz also slightly delaying the Mega health. Might be setting up for a rotation, hopefully. And now it's again Nyx versus BJ to lead this one off. Getting a little bit of an inventive jump in right there, making the cross without making a noise on the bounce pad. Clawz has all the weapons that he needs, and Raisy wants that rail, and Clawz knows it. Knows exactly what weapon Raisy has got his eyes on.
He wants to chase. He's got dual wield. I'm surprised he actually went for that one. And throughout all this, he's actually able to force Raisy down. And you can see Raisy trying to go for heavy, but realizes, oh, it's not going to be there. Now Clawz has an opportunity to get towards Mega before Raisy can get there. No abilities up for either player. But Clawz, he should be able to punish this one. Raisy's going to be in a really rough situation, but he sneaks in. But can he sneak out, maintaining most of that health? And that double back out of him works out.
Yeah, very nice play by Raisy. Clawz kind of gave that one up a little bit too easily. He was looking too much to do damage onto Raisy before making it onto the Mega health, and in doing so, he let Raisy sneak up on him and pick up the item. Now, here comes Raisy jumping down. He doesn't have the dual wield up just yet. Clawz does have that Ghost Walk. Is he still gonna go for heavy? Clawz, you're mad. Raisy is going to take advantage of that DLG from up above. Clawz doesn't have an answer to that, and round 2.
Clawz has a Mega spawn, or sorry, he has an LG spawn and catches Raisy out perfectly. That was, I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit of luck out of Clawz getting that spawn there, going straight to LG with BJ of all champions. And he does just decimate Raisy. So that first frag Raisy got doesn't give him any breathing room.
No, none whatsoever.
Oh
but
my god.
Oh no, that didn't even go through the teleporter. Clawz is gonna see that rail is gonna loop around. Is he going to find Raisy? Raisy up above. He's gonna pick side of him. There we go. Trying to get an angle onto Raisy. Will he find it? He does, but didn't quite land the shot. Heavy will be up first. Mega taken at the exact same time. Both players rebuilding their stack, but it's definitely Clawz who's the bigger stack of both.
Thing is, Raisy, massive orbs on this guy, massive dire orbs to play Nyx into one of the most known Nyx players in the game of Clawz. And Clawz is going to know exactly how to play against this one. And it all starts off with a shot like this, a rail to the face of Raisy. Puts so much pressure on him, especially if you're one of those Nyx players. But we got both abilities up.
Yep, and this is a difficult situation to be in for both of these players, because on the one hand, Nyx is such a squishy champion. She has a pretty low stack overall, so the BJ ability can really decimate her instantly. Here we go, we're seeing a trap out of Claw. Oh my god, Raisy knocking him out of the map. There you go, bye-bye Clawz, he says. Teammates, not today. And here we go, we're seeing the Heavy and Mega spawning at just about the same time. Raisy has got the positional advantage, but he needs to be careful. He doesn't have the Ghost Walk, and there comes the Death Knight. Getting railed once. Can he avoid the second one? No, that was a very aggressive and preemptive use of the flames. Ah, the Kinsta-Gib doesn't quite come out. Raisy's got to be careful not to land in the flames, but Clawz perhaps a bit too aggressive coming up, knowing that the Super Shotgun spawned up there.
Damn, that was a lot of damage with a shotgun as well. You can see Raisy. You know, yeah, there Clawz realizes, oops, that shouldn't happen. It should have been that situation. Good job by Raisy to fight back, though, and on the Nyx, most importantly. I was really starting to question his Nyx after we saw the first round, but, you know, I judged a little bit too early there, and he did fantastic.
And this time around, Raisy is spawning off the kill. Perhaps he feels more comfortable using this champion this time around. He's gonna sneak his way over to the railgun. Still needs that LG, but he knows that Clawz is going to be watching that like an eagle. Using the sound bites, knows exactly where Clawz is. Is he gonna push in? Nope, not quite yet.
I'd hope not.
Yeah, best for him not to. This is really good by Raisy. He knows that he's got Clawz low, and Clawz doesn't have his ability. Raisy will take him out quickly too. Both items up for him. But Clawz might spawn over towards Mega, so I don't think that Raisy is banking on being able to get both of them at the same time.
Going for the Death Knight here too. Not going for the BJ, so he has the ability to burst down Raisy extremely quickly because of the hitbox model.
Yep.
But now he's on the run here, trying to keep his distance. Most importantly, trying to limit the amount of damage he might take here, as the next items are going to be spawning in a few seconds. Going to be trading rails between the two.
Yep. Both players actually going over towards the Mega Health. I'm kind of surprised that Clawz did go with the Death Knight instead of the BJ, because Kiel definitely has the largest player model and hitbox out of any champion that's currently in this rotation. So I feel like the double LG could work exceptionally well against him, but I mean, it is Clawz.
Well, the up and downside is, right, is that if you do play BJ and you try to commit for the double LG fight against him, you're in close proximity of a Keel who can hit you with these pineapples. So I think maybe the Death Knight was more of like a ranged attack. He wants to play a little bit towards the rail angles, which we see him constantly going for now. So I think he's just respecting, you know, Keel as a champion in that ability.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we are seeing a lot of like long-range fire strikes coming out of Clawz. Actually, he's been using it pretty preemptively just to try and lock down an area as well. So that probably definitely factored in his decision as well. Probably, definitely, I know.
No, I remember seeing this style at a race yesterday against Cypher. He got 1 kill, and now he's playing slow. And we talked to him after, and he said he likes to play the game like this. He likes to, you know, play a little bit slower. He likes to play in his own fights when he does want them. He gave away Mega and Heavy, but he's just about dragging the game out now and forcing Clawz to come to him.
And Clawz is indeed taking that fight to him. There he comes, LG. So good, but Raisy, oh, he's got to be careful now. Not moving at all. Just wait, Raisy. Wait it out. Yep.
Where's the Clawz respawn?
There we go. Clawz respawning over towards Heavy. Doesn't push in right away. Raisy kind of stuck in place there for a second, but he managed to just wait it out just fine. And now Clawz is down to his final champion.
Just still really impressive out of Raisy to see that, you know, he gave up both major items, and yet he was still able to win the fight with just 13 HP left. Like, that's very difficult to do, especially at the high caliber. And look at this, he's actually going to spot out.
Raisy isn't even going to go for the fight. He was looking behind him for a second, careful not to pull a Rafa with that ledge. And
it's the Rafa ledge now.
It's the Rafa ledge now. Heavy is up, and that will go to Raisy. And there's very little delay between the two items. This isn't good for Clawz. He has 2 minutes for 2 frags. But if he's going to land rails like that over and over again, that might make it difficult for Raisy. Oh my god. Here comes Clawz. Dual LG. And he will take it. Close quarters fight. Dropping down, and now he will have Mega first. Might be able to make it over to Heavy on time. But he's even going to wait for it. Yep, he knows that Raisy picked up LG first. Good play by Clawz, immediately backing up, not sticking around for that fight, even when your LG is as good as his. He still does play it safe.
Misses the jump there, goes back in for it. Gonna actually have a potential rail angle here. Raisy not going to connect though, but Raisy still has the luxury of another champion.
Yeah, and that is something that Clawz does not have. Time is not on his side right now. He's just got a little over a minute left to get at least one more flag. He's going to find Raisy. Out comes the dual wield. Even rocket jumping up. Clawz is committing to this one. Perhaps a little bit too much. 56 points of health. Raisy could have finished him with a rail shot right there. I don't think the Hungarian quite knew just how low Clawz was.
Well, in the match for Cypher and Blood Covenant, when we asked him after, when he was able to chase down the clutch against Cypher and then let him go with 39 HP, he said, yeah, I didn't know about how much HP he had left, so not really reading into the numbers as much as some other players. But he still has a very good feel of the game. But either way, Clawz, he's got 40 seconds left to pick up another frag just to throw it to sudden death.
And I think Clawz is kind of messing up right now. He mistimed that Heavy. He was looking out for it to spawn, but it's not up for another 10 seconds. Mega he knows, but he can't afford to waste too much time. He has to go, and quickly too. Raisy is actually up at the super shotgun. Clawz turns away at the wrong time. 20 seconds to go. Raisy's still up in the middle. He's playing so sneakily. Clawz didn't see him. I don't think
he just heard him now.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, 10 seconds. There should be no way I can catch you. And this should be Raisy actually taking the lead here at Molten Falls.
Yeah. Yeah, Raisy up 2-1. Clawz rocket jumping, perhaps a bit of frustration right there. It's understandable. It's understandable. But Raisy's tactic is as viable and as valid as any. And if the game gives you those tools, then, well, why not use it?
The thing is that Clawz wants to fight. I mean, obviously in that situation, but in general, he wants to fight you. And if Raisy's able to play out the map like this and keep his distance, then Clawz has, you know, no chance of forcing those fights. It's similar to what we saw with Rafa versus Agent, except in this case, Raisy's not doing damage to keep Clawz away. He's just hiding. And you can see Clawz being more preemptive now at checking a lot of these angles. And again, look at Raisy. He's actually just walking on the bottom of rail.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Raisy is really playing the counter game very well against Clawz. He knows how much his own teammate loves going aggressive. He knows how much Clawz favors those situations where he can just dish out all the damage and chase you down. And so he's just playing the perfect counter game. He's slowing the game down, keeping his distance. He just wants to get a good situation, a good fight, get the lead, and then perhaps just ride it out. Clawz has got the top positioning. Raisy is down below, and Raisy is really stacked already. Here we go. Might get a first confrontation. Clawz is going to find him out. And both players have got quite a bit of their ability ready right now.
Well, the thing is that what's so smart about Raisy's playstyle is he banned Visor. Yeah. So he's allowed to play this kind of style. He can't be pushed on easily with the vision that Visor does give you at the piercing sight. So Clawz is just being forced to run around the map because, again, he wants to fight. He wants to get the advantage in this situation. He's going to hear Mega being picked up. Now Raisy, again, just going to be hovering in this position, trying to force Clawz to come to him, and trying to just be a slippery snake, which he's doing perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just waiting for an opportunity where he can trap his opponent and make the most out of it. And that opportunity might be coming right up. Oh my god, good opening rocket. 100 damage, 90. Following up with the rail. Clawz, is he going to commit to this? He's going to, but he needs to be careful because Raisy, of course, has all of his pineapples ready. And those can hurt. Here we go.
Oh my god. 40 HP left off of that quick engagement with the rocket and the pineapple. And immediately Clawz has to put the brakes on.
Yeah, Clawz has to go back. He has to stack up. Again, he cannot further commit to this fight. And that's, again, you see how important those champion picks are. Raisy catching him out perfectly. Taking down Clawz. And Raisy, once again, has got the lead.
He doesn't want to play the Nyx here into this either. Oh, that's going to be a good connection. He's setting in the fire. 30 HP left with a shotgun. Going to finish him off. So Clawz going to get a break here. Going to pick up Heavy too, because off the back of that frag that happened before against him, we saw Raisy pick up Mega and Heavy. And he was so stacked, but the Death Knight works out for him, and he almost has the Fire Strike back up.
Yeah, perfect use of the ability right there by Clawz. He had Raisy in just the perfect spot. Do not allow him to walk away. He must have taken some fire damage, and that's exactly what got him the kill. Raisy, though, got that mega health. He's looking pretty stacked himself, but there's a nice delay between the two items. Clawz could probably get both of them if he hurries. Gotta be careful about that Raisy, though, because
not doing that again.
Yeah, Raisy's on the next, and he can show up anytime, anywhere. Clawz has got the upper ground, though. Here's that mega pickup, so he knows exactly when that item is going to respawn, but he cannot yet commit to a fight.
I mean, you see how defensive Raisy's playing. And he's actually going to catch him out. Force out the Ghost Walks. This is a good start here for Clawz. Raisy going to go back up the bounce pad, and Clawz is hurt. He's going to go for the re-engage. He gets caught out in the air. Raisy, a nice little turnaround there, catching Clawz with his pants down, with his aggression. The rail going to land. Now Raisy hits a fantastic rocket. I think he just jumped up towards the super shotgun, and he's looking to keep his distance, looking to get over towards Mega, and he's secured Heavy, and he's getting Mega now. Really well done by Raisy with this pressure being applied to him.
Oh, wow. I mean, Clawz is just dishing out the damage over and over again, but Raisy is being so slippery. That rail. Raisy is just getting away over and over and over again, and he's doing so not just by running with his tail between his legs. No, he's actually dishing out damage himself, and he's putting Clawz on the back foot. But this time around, Heavy will be going to Clawz, and he's going to find Raisy. Raisy does have that Ghost Walk ready, though, so Clawz has to be careful about that. 50% rail from Clawz out of 34 shots taken. That's pretty impressive already. Clawz playing his own game right now. He's playing the items for a little bit. 15 seconds between both of them.
Thing is, for Raisy to get in this this last 1v1 that's probably going to happen since we only have a minute left. He needs to get rail shots on Clawz, but because Clawz is maintaining control of the items, he doesn't allow Raisy to give him the opportunity to do enough damage to him to force engagement himself. You can see Heavy's up. He's trying to go for the kill here. Fire Strike comes in as well. He's going to get the catch with the LG, and he had 0.2 seconds left on the Ghost Walk. Clawz catches him out perfectly, and now he's got the champion lead.
Yeah, very nicely done by Clawz. Playing a patient game, he had the time, not all that much of it, but in the end he did get out Raisy perfectly too. I mean, he knew what Raisy wanted. Raisy didn't have any armor. Clawz realized that Raisy was going to try and get those small armors. Great mid-air rocket. And now Raisy is trailing. He's got 15 seconds left. Clawz has got the stack. He's got the positioning. This is so difficult for Raisy. He has got to find a way into this. And he's even going towards Mega.
Why did he run? You have 7 seconds. You needed to kill Clawz. And he ran away. And I think even Clawz was wondering, like, what are you doing? Like, 1 second left. There's no chance. He had to force the fight there. And that's to be the tie-up here. Now 2-2 here on our first map in our first quarterfinal of the day. And I can't tell you what's going to happen in this series, honestly. I've been really impressed with Raisy to be able to play this passive style, and yet somehow, with doing almost 0 damage, he's able to sneak away both items.
Oh, yeah. And still, it's 2-2. Raisy is still looking good, and I want to again bring our attention to the champion picks, because Raisy is so well known for his clutch. It's the champion that he is, at this point, probably the best player in the world at, and he uses it to such great effect that people have just started instantly banning that champion when it comes to Raisy, and that gives you a lot of freedom if you can also focus on all of the other champions and ban someone of your own. So Raisy has definitely excelled at that one champion, and it's paying off in dividends for him. Clawz getting himself the rockets.
He knows that Raisy has no LG as well, because he's been camping it. And there we go, the engagement coming in. That's going to be double rockets coming through. Clawz not popping his dual wield. Well, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And eventually Clawz lost his life there. Now switching over to the DK.
Yeah, I mean, Clawz, I think he thought he had it. He got the drop down onto Raisy. Raisy didn't have LG. Clawz knew it, and yet still Raisy, the dual rockets, just doing so much damage. I think that Clawz, indeed, too conservative with his ability, should have gone for the dual wield himself as soon as possible.
The thing is, though, he's been like that over the course of many different champions and many different tournaments. For instance, what always stands out to me is his Nyx, and he's out of all Nyx players, he's probably one of the ones that dies the most often with his ability up.
Yeah.
Because when I asked him about it, he actually said he doesn't expect the other person to hit that shot. Like, he's that confident he's most likely going to be able to dodge it, so he doesn't want to use it. But eventually it costs him his life in more occasions than none. So right there, maybe the dual wield could have changed the tide of that fight. Maybe it could have forced Raisy back, but you know what? We'll never know now, Flea.
Yeah, definitely, we will not. It is always a difficult decision to make, though. Are you going to hang on to your ability and use it at a different time, or are you going to use it right then and there and perhaps not get the desired result and then be without it?
Oh,
Raisy jumping!
You're gonna die again! You're gonna die!
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's got that
sorry.
Heavy. Heavy will take most of that damage and not have it go directly towards his health, but that was close. Raisy jumping back into it. Questionable decision, but perhaps he was just so confident in his stack that he knew he would be able to survive that. And now this is not a position that Raisy wants to be in. He likes to play it passive. He likes to set and dictate the pace of the game himself. And right now he actually has to chase Dawn or Raisy.
So I'm going to be changing my alias after this game to Squeeze Boy, I think now, after those squeals. It actually catches Clawz again on the fight, which is kind of funny because Raisy did have about a 20-30 second time window there where he was being super aggressive, and he's going to drop down. He's going to catch out Clawz perfectly, and Clawz needs this frag but won't have it. And Raisy will take the first map of the series.
Wow. I don't know how many people were expecting that. But Raisy, I mean, I mentioned it after round 1 or round 2, and Raisy is still just playing that same game. He knows how to counter his teammate. He knows exactly what to do to deal with that hyper-aggressive playstyle of Clawz, and he's really making it work so far.
Clawz took 44 shots at the rail, and Raisy took 16. So, I mean, that's just showing you that Raisy necessarily didn't do as much poke as Clawz. Right. But he got the engagements that he wanted, and he got the fights that he wanted, and eventually did win the whole map as well. Just ridiculous, honestly, to see his change in style and to kind of see the frustration in Clawz's play, trying to catch him out time and time again. So if Raisy picks up the first frag of the round, Clawz instantly now knows crap. I have to find you somehow, and I've already been struggling to do that on Molten Falls. And going into Runes of Sarnath, it's going to be even more difficult to do that, especially with the visor still banned away.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Clawz needs to pay so much attention to that initial fight, that first frag, because if he wins it, then Raisy needs to be the one chasing. And we heard about it yesterday. Raisy doesn't like to chase. He likes to play it passively. And yeah, Clawz can exploit that, but he needs to be careful not to lose that first fight, not to give up that first frag, because that immediately puts him at a major disadvantage.
Well, now looking forward into this whole series and potentially the whole tournament, you can assume Raisy's going to ban that visor every time he possibly can. I'm actually looking back to, like when he played against Tox, he banned out Galena. Up against Cypher, he banned out DK. Against Cypher again, he banned out DK. So in particular, he's trying to really play against Clawz, especially by taking away the visor.
Yeah, he's mitigating that aggression. He's banking on those passive plays and that evasive playstyle that he himself wants to employ. Taking a look at the champions picks.
Nyx again?
Nyx again, so Clawz not changing his lineup one bit, and Raisy so far has been sticking to the same one as well. Are we going to see a Nyx once more? Of course.
I mean, Galena's good against all three of those champions, but gonna go for Nyx himself.
Yep.
The Raisy Nyx.
The
Never thought we'd be
Nyx,
seeing it.
No, and I mean, he used it well in the first round, so why not again?
It just kind of fits the style he wants to play, right? He wants to sit back, he wants to hide. With the Keel, he's been able to hit enough of the grenades, the pineapples, to stop aggression when Clawz comes around a corner. For instance, that one clip of Clawz coming in with full stack, and he gets taken out of 40 HP because he hit him with a rocket, hit him with a pineapple, and then Clawz immediately had to stop and respect that. So this is getting tough times now. Clawz going to be on the back foot. It's only a best of 3. We don't get into best of 5s until the semifinals. And we're on to the second map with Raisy in the lead.
Oh yeah, and today, just to remind you all, this is a single elimination bracket for the entirety of the day. So if Clawz loses this map, he will be out of the tournament entirely. The back-to-back QuakeCon winner is on his last life, as it is. We're starting this one off on Clawz, starting with his Nyx, getting LG right away. One of his many comfort weapons that he has. Still looking for that rockets right now, though. And Raisy is looking super stacked, of course, being on that Keel and already playing passive, just crouch walking around. Damn, Clawz, his rail, it's a beauty.
Very smart in his play, too, to be able to use those sound cues to hit these shots. Again, look how cautious he's being coming around corners. He doesn't want to get baited into a trap, and he's definitely respecting Raisy in the way he was playing that first map.
Oh yeah, and we saw it yesterday for sure. Clawz is definitely more than an all-aim, no-brain player, but he's looking the wrong way. Raisy isn't even going to capitalize off it. Raisy is really playing, I think, the slowest Quake we have seen this tournament. We've seen Cooler slow it down. We've seen Agent slow it down, but, I mean, really, Raisy is just like, without a single frag on the board, slowing it down. Clawz, 15 points of health. He is going to... He's pushing in!
Yeah, unexpected.
Wow, Clawz. The guts on that man, that takes some serious courage, but he is going to make it work. I don't know if Raisy was really expecting it, but Clawz showed up at an angle he did not predict and finished him off quickly.
And he has to give up Mega 2 here. There's no one he can test for this one. He's been able to get his Ghost Walk back, though, most importantly. The thing is, even with that kill, he's not changing up the pace. He's still being aggressive. He needs to hit these rails. 36 HP left, and Raisy's right behind him. He's going to Ghost Walk at the perfect time. Not going to go for the chase, though. And Raisy almost catching Clawz completely off guard.
Yeah, good evasive play by Clawz right there, though. Just going for the health bubble, timing exactly, and knowing just in his head when Raisy would come out of his Ghost Walk and countering it perfectly with his own to escape right there.
This is dangerous. He just got like 6 hourglasses. He has a 20-second window of Ghost Walk.
Yeah, Raisy doesn't have his. Oh my god, he has nowhere to run right now. This should be the end. 1 HP. Oh, Clawz exposing himself to so much damage right there, but still doing quite well. And this is actually Raisy's map pick. It's definitely a map that you can play pretty slow and passively, as we have seen Cooler do to perfection. Clawz should have heard the teleporter behind him. He knows that Raisy is close, and Raisy knows exactly where he is.
But he's got his Ghost Walk. Yeah, exactly. He does get railed up. Does get the armor, though, so he can't be dropped by a second shot. Ghost Walk used. Is he going to try to actually finish a fight here, or just go for the exit rail?
Well, at this point, Clawz knows that Raisy doesn't have all of the weapons yet, and I think that that's in particular why he's stuck around. But these nails, they hurt a bit too much for Clawz. Raisy was, still pretty damn stacked himself. Clawz definitely overstepping the boundaries right there. He's pushing in with a shotgun against a dual LG out of a BJ. Clawz, you've got to retreat from that, man. Not even you can take fights like that. Mega will be up first in around 5 seconds, and then 10 seconds afterwards we are going to be seeing the Heavy. Mega probably going to go pretty much uncontested to Raisy, but we might see a fight pop up near Heavy.
Well, and again, look at the emphasis on these hourglasses. 3 seconds for his Flame Strike. Raisy, will he expect? He's got 160 HP. You can see Clawz going for it yet again. Not really going to connect too much, though. 50 HP left for him, and a great exit rocket comes in to keep Clawz back at arm's length. But the thing is, Clawz still has the frag lead. Raisy has to come to him. He has to get another frag to throw it into sudden death at a minimum. And that rocket, oh my lord, that could have catch 35 HP left, and Clawz hits the rails back to back and gets the round.
The rails, man. The rails and the LG, those are two things that Clawz is exceptionally well known for, and he is delivering today as well. Taking a quick look at that replay, look at that 1 HP finish out of Clawz. Got a little bit lucky right there, but
you could see in his eyes as well. He was constantly checking his health to realize that, can I go for the LG fight here? Do I need to go for the rail? Can I go for the chase? Always trying to think and figure out what he can do in that situation, knowing he had such a massive lead when it came to Ghost Walk.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how many small decisions all of these top-level players make on like the second notice. They are constantly thinking about positioning. What weapons do I have? What weapons does my opponent have? What's my ability like? Their ability, my health, their health. There's so much going on every second of these matches, and it's incredible to see Clawz pushing in for the chase, getting a good amount of opening damage. Raisy using his Ghost Walk to get away.
And now I think Clawz might even potentially go towards the hourglasses to predict where Raisy wants to emphasize his presence.
Yeah, absolutely, because we know Raisy is on next.
Yep, there it is.
Hourglass is so important for that champion. You can hardly take a fight with her without having your ability up. So Clawz knows that that is something that he can exploit. Good
Easy
opening rail, yeah. Takes one back, but he has got the stack advantage. One more will do it. Can he find it? 21 points of health for Clawz. He's got to be careful himself right now.
Oh my God. He had Ghost Walk and he didn't even use it. He didn't even try to get aggressive.
And that last shot, that was actually... Oh my God. Clawz, what are you doing right now? No, Raisy stays down. Yep. Raisy had him right there, because even when you are invisible, going up the bounce pad will still make a noise. It will give away your position. And Raisy was just sitting there waiting, baiting out, going up the bounce pad, and then just waited it out. Clawz coming out of it, getting taken down pretty quickly.
Good use of that too, that information to know it's like, oh, well, Clawz hasn't left yet. And I can force him to stay here by not going up, because otherwise I'll know he's there. That's with the Fire Strike coming in yet again.
Yeah.
Raisy's getting melted down a little bit, but Dual Wheel comes in with the nail gun.
And now Raisy, yeah, he's gonna be without his dual wield, but he knows that Clawz also just used the Fire Strike himself. So he knows that he can be safe at least, rest assured, for a few more seconds. Gonna get himself stacked up and get those weapons that he was still missing. Finally, he has the Unholy Trinity to his side. Here comes Clawz. He might get confrontation. Oh, he looked the wrong way, or the right way, but not long enough. But those rockets! 100 into 80 into 100. There's no surviving that when you're Raisy. But now Clawz might be on the back foot for these next two major items. They're gonna be up at around the same time, so he might find the opportunity to steal one of them. Mega will be up, and I think that Clawz is just gonna be able to get that one.
Yeah, gets at least one of these to keep his stack up. And again, he doesn't have to force a fight just yet, but knowing Clawz, he probably will.
Yep.
Doesn't want to let Raisy get, again, a fight in the situation that he wants.
This time, though, it's actually Raisy who's got a chase. And Raisy is on kill, pretty slow champion, so I think that Clawz kind of has a good idea of the tactic that Raisy wants to employ, and that is to trap him. Raisy is probably going to try and play it slow and try to go for those traps, those beautiful grenades. That was a long-range one, too. And then take advantage of a good situation for him. And Clawz, I think, is going to have to watch those corners in the next 2 minutes.
Thing is, I don't think Clawz is going to try to play passive at all, which would be a decent adaptation, especially against the Keel. Yeah, you don't want to get in a close-range fight, but you don't want to let him set up against you, most importantly. So if you have the opportunity to do that with your initial burst coming through, that could be a good opportunity. But there's still a minute and a half to go. Raisy definitely has a chance to get back into this one.
Yep. Because, yeah, I mean, Keel is one of those champions that you really don't want to let stack up, and you don't want to leave them alone for too long, because at that point you will have someone 175 health, 175 armor, just barreling down on you with 5 grenades at the ready too. So that's something that you definitely want to avoid when you are Clawz. But he does actually seem to be slowing it down. Somewhat, at least, being really careful. He's like, is he down there? Sneaking around the corner. This is nice. I'm happy to see Clawz adapt like that. Because, yeah, he's so well known for his aggressive playstyle and his reliance on his aim. But here we go, we're going to see a fight. Raisy ejected out of the room pretty much instantly. And now Clawz has got 50 seconds left to survive, giving Raisy quite a bit of leeway, though.
It's a different style of passive play, where Clawz likes to focus on picking up at least one of these items. I'll get back to that point in a second, because we see the rails laying, the fire is ticking, and Clawz needs to hold on for another 40 seconds of time. He's going to push in with the LG. He realizes he has Raisy low, and he gets the frag with 7 health left. And that will be round 2 going to Clawz. But Flea, trying to get back to my point there.
Yep.
Clawz's passive style versus Raisy's passive style is a little bit different, where Clawz likes to always have one of those major items, whether it's Mega, whether it's Heavy, where Raisy's more than happy to let the other player pick up both and then just rely on his ridiculous aim to hit those shots and to get the kill.
Oh yeah, Raisy passive is just like, I'm going to disappear off the map, and I'm going to just set up in an area and hold it down with my ability. It used to be Soar, like with the Spit. Now it's mainly Keel with those grenades, and just try and trap you and do the damage when you come to me in a position that favors me. Clawz landing that opening rail. He is going to try and chase down Raisy. He knows he might have a good idea of where he is. Raisy using the Ghost Walk, though. Getting out of there. Oh my god, Clawz! And Clawz at this point should know that Raisy doesn't have the ability. Raisy, yeah, going up the bounce pad, exposing himself to so much damage.
Very smart play by Clawz there, because he already had rail, right? But he picked it up again to prevent his prevent Raisy from having rail on Nyx, which is one of her key weapons she needs 100%. So he picks it up twice to make sure to deny it, and then he knows, all right, well, you already ghost walked, you have no rail, this should be an easy fight for me.
Yep. Weapon respawns in duel are 5 seconds each, so that's not that long, but in a close fight, close quarter situation, you can definitely choke an opponent out of a key weapon by just picking it up just before they can. Heavy will be up first. Raisy is aware of this as well, but it will be going to Clawz.
If he gets Mega 2 here, Flea, he's going to force the fight. Like, he's going to go barreling down on Raisy if he can get Mega somehow.
Now landing an opening rail, landing a second one. Not a third one, though. Oh, there we go. Raisy.
Shot his toe.
Yeah, oh. Clawz, he's behind you. Oh, and the 180 rocket coming through. I think that Clawz...
Oh, the respawn!
No!
Oh, he's got Keel, though. He's got a machine gun, at least with the start, so Clawz is going to have to back away, but still, very unfortunate for Raisy.
Yeah. I think that Clawz really, one of the few things that he could change is watch the corners more, because Raisy has just been trapping him over and over again. Good rocket, but Raisy's LG and stack are just too much for Clawz to deal with right there.
Thing is, I know... Oh, okay. We're going to respawn back in. Clawz comes in with the BJ and the Tribal. One thing I do know about Clawz, though, he's got wrist problems, actually, with the mouse, so he can't play for a really long time because it's eventually going to hurt him. So I wonder, does him having to check all these corners and constantly be swiping the mouse, is that going to wear down his hand and actually, you know, eventually cause him to make mistakes?
That could very well be the case, yeah. Still, though, it's...
Oh, my God.
Oh, those 4 grenades right there. But Clawz goes up the bounce pad, lands a rail. Raisy at this point is railable, but it doesn't seem like Clawz is in a position.
I think Clawz missed that jump to upper T. Because if he landed there, he would have had the rail to finish Raisy off.
They might very well have. Good read by Clawz, though. And now Raisy super low. Clawz is going to finish this one up. It is 1-1 in maps, as we will be moving into the tiebreaker, which, if I recall correctly, was Blood Covenant.
I'm really worried for Raisy when it comes to Blood Covenant. If he had Clutch, I would say a different story.
Yeah.
But Blood Covenant against Clawz, I've seen, I think, hours and hours of highlights of frag movie potential out of Clawz and his flicks over towards pillars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, those vertical rails, when he's jumping across those pillars.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And we can take a quick look at the scoreboard again.
Look at the difference in rail shots. Again, doubling him. I think last one at Molten Falls, he at least doubled, almost tripled him the amount of shots taken.
As in terms of pickups, it's Raisy picking up most of the items, but Clawz dealing out most of the damage, actually doing almost 1,000 points of damage more than his opponent, and that definitely was enough to get him the win. Interesting to see, though, is that both of these players actually lost their own map pick. Not sure what that does to their mental state going into this third and final game.
I don't think much. Like the map pool is so small that everyone is generally so good on all the maps. I don't think it really matters map pick. It's just more about how you want to play the matchup of the map that you get. But then again, your opponent's going to respond saying, like, I know how you want to play against me, so I'm going to play differently. I don't think maps and necessarily even champions come into full effect. I think it comes down to, well, A, who's aiming better that day, and B, who can adapt the quickest in the game to what their opponent's doing. And on Blood Covenant, like, this is going to be a tough one, I think, for Raisy. For me, every fiber of my being says Clawz should be the favorites 100% when it comes to this map. But if Raisy did have the clutch, I would actually give Raisy the slight edge.
Right.
But he
yeah,
doesn't. He doesn't have the option for
He
it.
does not have the opportunity to play his trusted robot.
At least he has the potential slow play style because there's no visor.
That's true.
So if he can get an early frag, he can basically hide from Clawz.
And block, yeah, and block Covenant.
It's more difficult to do, I think, on Blood Covenant to hide in corners, but it
Yeah.
is easier to just cycle around the map away from him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is definitely a map that you can play passive on. And on that note, we will be heading into the champion picks. So far, nothing new. Raisy going for the BJ and the Keel. Clawz going for the BJ and the Nyx. Are we again going to see... No.
Galena?
Galena versus Galena. Okay, that's interesting. So that means that Clawz is dropping the Death Knight, switching to Galena. And that means that Raisy is dropping... what did he drop?
Nyx.
Yeah, Nyx
Go Galena.
for Galena.
So, okay, since Raisy had to pick the last champion first, I think he was predicting a Death Knight to come out.
Might very well be
So
the case.
that's why he went Galena to deal with the Death Knight, the Nyx, and the BJ, because Galena does really well against all three of those.
Yeah.
But then Claw's like, all right, well, I'm not going Death Knight this time. I'm going to go Galena against you to deal with your BJ and your Keel.
Yeah.
So these surprise attacks that potentially can come out could be thwarted or at least minimized in the damage if you can get a totem down to heal yourself.
That's very true. This map, though, it's not a map that you see Galena played on all that much.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have the one teleporter, but that's about it. And on that note, we will be getting into this one. This is the third and final map, Tiebreaker. Whoever wins doubles his prize money. Whoever loses is out of the tournament as it is. And we are starting this one off on Myztro Raisy.
All right, so Claw's going to be looking for the rail as soon as possible. Raisy already able to pick up his unholy trinity of weaponry. And more importantly, the heavy machine gun as well to be able to pepper in that damage from long range.
Yeah, at this point, Clawz is still just
Oh
missing
my
his
god,
LG, but
the rocket's
damn.
a rail. Oh, and the rail again.
Clawz, he's treating us. This is frag movie stuff we're seeing from the get-go, and he reads Raisy perfectly pushing in. Didn't even need the Ghost Walk right there, but still is going to use it. This might be an opportunity for Raisy, though, because he knows that Clawz used the Ghost Walk. Oh my god, Clawz is just going to push in. He knows that Raisy doesn't have any weapons. He has that heavy, but nothing to really dish out the damage with, which Clawz obviously does. He's got every weapon that he could want. Here we go. Raisy will go down.
That's not a good sign for Raisy. He needs a response to this Nyx. Claw's going to be back to that full natural. He's going to be able to contest on a heavy, and he has his Ghost Walk up in a second of time. He's denying away rail from Raisy the best he possibly can. And Raisy's been having a tough time fighting from behind. When he's in the lead, he maintains that lead really well. But he doesn't have the playmaking ability with his aggressive style without the clutch that Clawz does.
Yeah, and I think that our predictions are definitely coming into fruition. I mean, we were a minute in for 2 frags in round 1, as opposed to these 2 really slow games. Oh, Raisy can't even get the healing out. You need to keep in mind that when you put down that totem, there's like a split second that it can't be destroyed because it's still spawning, but it also can't give you the healing boost. So Raisy got taken out just a little bit too quickly. Clawz, very, very convincing first round, 3 frags in around a minute and 30 seconds.
I mean, he did have a really convincing first round of Molten Falls, and then it just dissipated in the next round. So I don't want to judge the performance just yet, too early. I want to see a little bit more. He's actually able to pick up rail and hit the first shot. Okay.
Clawz at this point at 62% rail accuracy, looking rock solid. Knows that Raisy's kind of trapped right there. But now at this point he should have expected Raisy to already have gone down the route of pillars. And he's going to try and counter him. There we go. Going for the rail. Can't quite connect it though. Clawz's reads have been on point on this map though. He has been catching Raisy out consistently during that first round.
I think now Raisy knows how I feel when I play against Clawz on this map when he's trying to train me. 3 seconds on Ghost Walk. He needs to survive 2 more seconds. He's able to get around the corner, but no! He goes as Pixel too early and shoots the rocket, causing him to die. That Ghost Walk would have been there.
Clawz.
Raisy catches a break, I think.
Yeah, Raisy got lucky with that one. Clawz could have gotten away with it and probably, maybe, might have even picked up the frag right there. And right now we are, again, on Raisy's perspective. Clawz just picked up the heavy. Some damage being exchanged, not much. Neither player interested yet in committing to a big fight. And Raisy is setting up for Mega already. There comes Clawz right above him. Both players hurt each other. I don't think at this point, Clawz does not have his LG. He needs to be a bit careful because that's one of his main weapons that he loves oh so much. But he knows that Raisy is keeping guard over it. Raisy is really playing the weapon game right now. He's trying to keep Clawz away from that favorite weapon of his. This might be his opportunity though. Clawz will get his hands on the lightning gun and is even getting the first setup on the Mega Health too.
Meantime, Raisy just doing hashtag Raisy things, playing the slow game here. Again, he's got the frag lead. We just literally talked about this, how when he gets the early lead, he will try to play super slow. And he will try to play this one very passive to force Clawz to come to him. And when you're when you're playing BJ and the enemy has to run into you, it's like a godsend. It's like a gift from God. It's like, all right, you're gifting me a free kill here. I'm going to pop my dual wield and just blow you up. So for Clawz to be able to make this work, he's got to spot him relatively early. He's got to hit definitely an early rail to open things up with.
Absolutely important.
Oh, he's got him.
Nope, didn't quite get it. Important to point out, though, that even though you can play Blood Covenant pretty passively, it is definitely a smaller map than Molten Falls. So Raisy might not have as many opportunities to really just disappear off the map and play his own passive game. Clawz, that flick, how? How does he manage to land those shots? And Raisy kind of forced to take the fight right there, had to use his dual wield because he was pretty low, but ultimately will go down against Clawz, who now has the opportunity to set up a really solid rotation.
I think he hears him under him too. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Has Mega, has Heavy too, most importantly. And Raisy's trying to get the weaponry he needs. He's got 2 minutes of time to pick up a frag here. Clawz most likely not going to get the overstack from the totems anytime soon.
Yeah, Raisy at this point is really just crouch walking around the super shotgun. Doesn't even dare pick that weapon up because he knows that it will make a sound. In comes Clawz with the rocket jump. He's gonna catch Raisy. 1 rail, 2 rail. Third one, nope, will not connect just yet. He wants to drop so bad. Oh, missing the kill shot there,
though. The totem, by the way, he drops the totem down, so when he can drop down to actually force the fight, he knows he has a safety net, and another rail hits, but that pineapple shuts Clawz down. The rocket not going to land, and Raisy gets him down to 13 HP. He had Mega as well, so he has the chance to survive this, and now we're down to a 1 champion play here out of Clawz against the 2 out of Raisy.
Yeah, really good read out of Raisy right there, catching Clawz exactly where he was heading for with very low HP. And right now it is Raisy who can play it slow because he is 1 champion in the lead. Clawz is gonna spot him though, and Clawz doesn't want to let him get away. Immediately going in for the kill. Raisy does seem to be able to get out in time. Clawz didn't use his dual wield though, so he still has got that up his sleeve.
Yeah, but can he close the gap he needs to with the LG to make that work? And he's going to go for the double rail play.
Clawz does have a slight stack advantage at this point. Raisy's just playing it so slow. Oh, that drop down. Clawz might have heard him drop down right there. Heavy is up. Is Clawz still going to go for that item? Nope, he's just going to go in, pushing Raisy up against the corner, but those defensive rockets and nades are going to save him for the time being. Oh my god, how is Clawz still alive? He's going for those rails. He's desperate. He's got 15 seconds left, but Raisy will beat him to the heavy and take him out. It is 1-1 right now.
You know, I'm not going to lie. It seems like when Raisy gets the first kill, he wins the round. And when he loses the first frag, he does not win the round. It seems pretty binary right now in how these rounds are going.
Yeah, we discussed this at the start of Ruins. That first frag is so important for both of these players, because it completely changes how the rest of the map is going to play out. And we are starting this one off on Raisy. He's on the BJ. Clawz is on the Nyx. Oh, that was a pretty good catch by Raisy, but Clawz very quick on those reflexes, really instantly using the Ghost Walk. And Raisy hungry for that railgun. Clawz knows this. He's trying to deny that weapon to his opponent as well.
And I think Raisy should know as well, on top of this, that Clawz is not going to get aggressive without that Ghost Walk. He's got 8 seconds left for that to come back up. Heavy and Mega going to be trading. You can see actually Clawz on the X-Ray playing this one extra careful over towards Heavy. He doesn't want to be jumped on because he doesn't have that escape ability that he's going to need with Nyx. But he does get Heavy. He does have it back up, and Raisy's right above him. He's looking for the shot. The rocket connect for 30. Not the damage he was looking for, but damage nonetheless. And that pressure still being felt by Clawz.
Yeah, Clawz taking a lot of damage going on the bounce pad. Is still holding on to his Ghost Walk. And again, how? Why does he do that? He's risking so much by not using the Ghost Ball, but somehow he is making it work, at least on this map. And now Raisy.
All it takes is that one time.
Yeah.
That one time at this stage of the tournament that you don't use Ghost Walk and you die because of it. But we do have him on the catch. Raisy down to 6 HP. Clawz just above 25. He's actually jumping from Banana and catches him out, and Raisy's going to lose the first champion, but he has an opportunity, though. Clawz is not healthy. He still doesn't have Ghost Walk, and the spawn back in from Raisy, well, he's not going to be going the right direction. Actually, might be able to catch with the
Oh my god, Clawz looking the wrong way. Completely misreading his opponent right there. Raisy catching him out almost instantly. Really nice play by Raisy, and at first, very nicely done by Clawz as well. I mean, he committed to that Ghost Walk. You've got to go all in at those times, and he just shot by Raisy and attacked him from behind, and Raisy did not see it coming one bit.
Yeah, didn't even want to like walk until the pace, and that's going to be a free kill any day of the week. Again, Raisy's style of slowing the pace down and using the aggression against Clawz is working out for him. Clawz now down to Galena up against the double. That's a good rocket as well. 25 damage now done. Doesn't have the rail, but does have the machine gun, the nail gun. Not really connecting at all against Raisy.
Not a single one of those nails ended up connecting. And now Clawz has no armor to his name. All he's got is the health. Heavy will be up for him though. He's got 2.5 minutes left, so he doesn't have to rush anything just yet. But unfortunately for him, he is down to his final champion, his Galena, who is definitely not the kind of chasing champion you want to be on.
He still doesn't have rail though, and he needs rail here. Most importantly, the machine gun doesn't have the opportunity to do as much damage as he possibly needs to. I think Clawz actually just rocket jumped over to rail to deny it.
Yep. Raisy himself actually doesn't have rail either. I think he's playing so cautiously that he doesn't want to go to that ledge because it is a dangerous position to be in. Instead, he's just gonna loop around, get himself that mega health once again. And again, slowing down the game. He's staying in these positions where he has a lot of lines of sight and he can disappear easily and run away.
Trying to watch that one angle towards Rocket as we see Clawz galloping away. And you can see him even pre-firing a couple of corners, expecting Raisy to be waiting in one of those. Rail's going to land again. Raisy does not have rail still, which is allowing Clawz to get potentially a lot of free damage off. There's the rockets coming in. Clawz maybe looking for the drop down. See him just dancing between both pillars. And thing is, we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Clawz is eventually going to have to get aggressive.
Yep.
But with Mega and Heavy up, if he can take away Mega, he can just freely run around these corners without the worry of being bursted. But he won't be able to take Mega down.
No, he was a bit too slow.
He's got 2 totems, though. If Raisy stays this side of the map, Clawz could get the overstack of the Mega with his totems, and then he'll have everything he needs to force a fight.
Yeah, that's a perfect counter on Clawz's end because he knows how passive Raisy likes to play it. Raisy's still in the exact same spot. Clawz was not expecting that, but the damage is huge from the Belarusian player, and he will take down Raisy. 35 points of health left, and that is going to give Clawz some much-needed breathing room.
Wait, can he overstack now on this totem?
Yep.
Oh, that's massive. That is massive, because now he has so much HP
he
to
can
work with.
overstack on this one too, because
Oh
the
my
totems,
God.
they reset when you place down another one. So
And he's going to have another one for this fight, and the totem's not going to be destroyed.
This
He's going
is
to take
so bad
Mega.
by Raisy, but Clawz.
He should force this, right? Because he can literally go for a fight, and he has overheal even more.
Again, he should go for it. Just go, 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 go. Full aggressiveness. Here we go. Clawz is going for the fight. Can he close this one out? Doesn't quite hit the flick rail.
Oh my God, he's perma 175. This is ridiculous. These totems constantly coming down. Finally, the pressure is going to fall back as he does go pick up Heavy, but you can see the pressure on Raisy now.
Yeah. This was an amazing pick by Clawz. Going for the Galena. Perfectly counters Raisy, and he even does a little bit of self-damage to deny the small armor. Like, Clawz knows that Raisy plays it so passively, he disappears off the map, doesn't go to some areas at all, and this is just giving Clawz so much freedom, so much stack. Raisy right below him. Does he know? Can he find his opponent? Oh, there's a rail. Isn't going to connect.
Raisy needs to check bridge. He needs to deny these totems, and he's going to go for the catch here. He could actually rocket jump into this, but he doesn't even need to. And Clawz will now be 1 round away from getting through to the semifinals.
He is looking good. Raisy not doing too bad himself, obviously, but Clawz, just look at that replay. Look at those totems. Doesn't quite connect with the air rocket, but that's Clawz for you. He's going for the flashy plays.
I like more importantly, he didn't shoot his rocket. He just waited. He's like, I have such a big stack advantage against you. I know how much damage I did. I just need to hit that one decent rocket and you're dead. I don't need to give you the opportunity to hit a couple of extra shots because I missed.
This time around, we are starting off on Clawz, and there is a pretty significant delay between Mega and Heavy at this point. Raisy left his Heavy up on purpose. Clawz is now playing a bit of a cautious game himself because he knows that that BJ dual wield is waiting for him, and he also suspects that Raisy has all the weapons at this point.
Just watching him just sneak up and look like, okay, is he in this corner? Could he be in this corner? He had the rocket ready to check it. He notices Heavy is not up as well because he came at the perfect time with his own Mega, expecting to be at the exact same moment.
Yeah.
And now he will turn around. He will spot it out. But Raisy still doesn't have rails, so going to be rough for him to combat at this kind of distance. He should have HMG, I would imagine, by now. Actually, he already does have rail. I misjudged that one.
I mean, it must do something to a player's mental state. It makes you paranoid when you're up against someone like Raisy, and you know that your opponent can just be hiding and waiting silently around any single corner in the game. And Clawz is, well, right now he's adapting to it. He's putting down those rockets to check for damage. Raisy getting that rail. Is he going to follow up? He will. Heavy will be up first, though.
He's not even going to Ghost Walk. I'm surprised. Try not to save his stack here.
I'm surprised he Ghost Walk right there, because he was far enough backwards to avoid all of the LG damage right there. Still went for the Ghost Walk. Maybe it was deliberate. Maybe he knew that he would be able to get all of these hourglasses. He's almost getting the Ghost Walk up instantly. And he's basically denying all of those hourglasses to Raisy right now. That's a really smart play out of Clawz.
Dual wields down for another 13 seconds. They actually might meet each other in middle.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep, Clawz spotted him.
I'm surprised he did with how close he sits to his monitor, to be fair.
He saw that BJ shirtless torso sticking out over the bounce pad right there. Mega is up, and it will be going towards Raisy. Clawz hasn't really been pressuring that side of the map at all. Doesn't really have to either when he's hitting these kinds of rails. But he has to be careful though, because he is Nyx. 100 health, 50 armor, base stack. That can change very quickly. He needs to be quick on those Ghost Walks when it comes down to it.
Here's him now. There's an opportunity for shot. Raisy, nice little backup.
Yep.
The jump pad here.
Raisy.
You can feel the tension growing for Raisy as well. I mean, there's half the time remaining in the round. There's been no frag traded, but he's technically, I mean, if it keeps going this pace, he's one frag away from being knocked out of the tournament. That's the first rail going to connect. Clawz looking to push in.
Oh yeah, this round might just go to sudden death 0-0 if things keep up like this, because both players are playing it pretty cautiously. Raisy is, and so is Clawz, because he is of course expecting those traps anywhere and everywhere. Both players have got all the weapons that they need, and there is very little delay between the two major items. I think that to break the stalemate, one of the best things either of these players can do is probably delay one of the items. Taking a rail right there, Clawz. A lot of his stack gone.
Gonna see him here. Only 29 damage on that rocket. Raisy just gonna be backing away, respecting this. They're actually gonna meet towards the hourglasses right next to each other. The first rocket's gonna land on a Clawz. This is 90 with this one. He's down to 20 HP though, but he knows he could Ghost Walk in and get aggressive instead. Gonna back away, go for the health bubbles, try to pick up heavy here. And that was a risky drop as well with 70 HP to do that. He was railable.
Yep. Clawz giving an unusual amount of respect to his opponent right there. I was really expecting him to go for the Ghost Walk. Oh, those rails. That's opening so many possibilities for him. It's right above Raisy right now.
Uh-oh. Now his Ghost Walk's down, and he might be in a trap here.
Yeah.
Raisy, well played by him to just dance in between those portals.
Clawz looking the wrong way entirely. Was expecting Raisy to still be up, but he was not. And now with a minute left, this is onto Clawz. He has to chase.
Oh, this is doable. Nailgun comes in. Dual Nailgun as well. Gets a dual LG. They're going to trade 1 for 1. Yeah. Now, with a minute left, Clawz has to pick up one more frag to just go into sudden death, and Raisy probably going to try to delay this as long as possible. And with 45 seconds, Clawz doesn't have the time to stack these totems. He doesn't have the time to get that overheal.
Yeah, and he is up against Keel, the most stacked champion that is currently in this map. So he has his work cut out for him. 30 seconds to go. Mega won't be up for another 15 seconds. Heavy will be up first. Clawz, you cannot wait around for this one. You've got to go. 25 seconds left. Heavy is up. Is Raisy gonna drop for it? No, Raisy,
he's just gonna wait.
Stoic as can be, isn't going to take any fight. They just passed each other.
And you see Clawz, he's trying to go on the chase. Galena very difficult to be able to catch up against someone, especially Kill trying to go for the disengages. 10 seconds left, the LG coming through. He's dancing around these rockets. Raisy gonna get on the underground. 5 seconds left to go. Clawz is trying to go for the chase here, but Raisy's running as fast as he possibly can. 1 second, and it won't be enough, and Raisy will hold on. And we get to the 5th and final round of our 3rd and final map here in our first quarterfinal.
Yep, that one rocket that bounced Clawz up and killed his momentum above LG, that's what changed that. Because if he had not been bounced around like that, I think Clawz could have pushed it for the kill. But here we go, guys. As Jason just said, this is it. Final map, final round. It all comes down to this for both of these players. Clawz picking up Mega and Raisy delaying Heavy by 10 whole seconds. That might throw his opponent off quite a bit. Clawz still looking for that railgun. Not quite getting the jump, but that's alright. Raisy not there to punish it after all.
5 seconds on Mega. Clawz is going to most likely rotate back to his position to go for it. Is he going to expect Raisy off to the side? And Raisy actually won't even give up his position, but he knows he has Heavy in 6 seconds. The problem is if Clawz expects is, well, Clawz now knows Heavy's not taken. He can go in for this one and actually challenge out on this one, especially with the first rail connecting. If he can hit a second, this would be perfect. No, there's no chance Raisy can pick up this Heavy, and Clawz has gained so much map control off those back-to-back rails.
And there are 15 seconds between Mega and Heavy. That's so good for Clawz. This has basically put him in full control, and he can really get a rotation going. But he still needs to be careful of those Raisy's traps. Looking the wrong way. Raisy isn't even going to engage. Raisy just let it happen.
Squeaky bum moment right there.
Oh, we might see it again.
And Raisy just choosing his fights wisely.
Yeah.
Clawz is trying to cycle these items over. He finally spots him out, and that's the duel coming through. And with that first rail landing, Clawz has the stack to battle Raisy. Raisy shouldn't be able to escape this. The LG's looking good, and Raisy does it! Somehow, without the dual wield anymore and without the stack, he gets the kill on Clawz.
Perfect timing on Raisy. He was waiting, when Clawz picked up the previous Heavy, Raisy was still just waiting to get the timing. And he took that fight, and the Heavy spawned at the best possible time for him, just as he was engaged by Clawz. Perfect play by Raisy, making it work against Clawz. And now all the pressure is on the player from Belarus. He needs to get at least one more frag, but he's got the time to do it.
Oh, that's a dual wield. That was a little unfortunate for Raisy. Clawz now knowing that's going to be on cooldown. Rocket jumps up. Raisy's waiting for this one, though. Gets a decent amount of LG damage, and that rocket was fantastic. Clawz trying to rotate back towards Mega. Raisy is actually going to meet him halfway here. The LG comes out. Clawz initially with the damage. And Raisy will back off, but he's giving up Mega. Heavy up in 15 seconds, and Clawz will have the items. And more importantly, in this situation, we've seen Clawz just do it before with the Galena, stacking up those totems. And he goes for the drop up and he's going to catch Raisy out, 30 HP left. He's trying to disengage with these rockets, but Clawz is just dancing around all of them.
Oh, Raisy is alive! How? How did Raisy survive that long? He should have been dead right there. But Clawz didn't manage to finish it off. Raisy now, so low though. Can Clawz find him? Can Clawz shut this one out and tie it back up? And I think that this is a really interesting champion pick by Clawz for his second one. He could have gone for the BG, he could have gone for that burst damage, but instead he went for the Galena. He wants to get those 3 totems up. He wants to be able to stack up and get ready.
Raisy, you're not survivable.
Here we go.
And there we see the double engagement come in. Clawz is going to get the kill. What?
3 HP.
3 health left, 10 armor. He's able to pull that off against the dual wield. The Belarusian coming up strong when it matters. And now we're all tied up here. The first round, Clawz going to land. Raisy's run into a trap. The second rail, the third time, a lady.
God.
Fourth one not going to connect, but Raisy doesn't have the HP. Clawz has his scent.
Oh my god, props to Clawz for using those totems this well though. That's what kept him alive. That's what kept him in a fighting position after he took down Raisy. He should have heard him. Yeah, he hears the nails. He knows
such
that
a
Raisy's
massive
below.
lead here too, Flea, because he has his own totem to come down for
Oh
overstack.
yeah, absolutely. Clawz, I mean, he wants to capitalize on this position, and he really should. Raisy down below at the pillars. He spotted side of him. Good opening rail.
God.
Clawz is going in for the chase. Raisy a little too quick to disappear, but he might fight him. Oh.
Raisy barely surviving that, but he's still not out of this one just yet. He's trying to he runs to the totem at Mega! Oh my lord, and there's a minute 10 left to go. Don't tell me Raisy's tournament life ends off the back of a totem.
He went up because he wanted the Mega. He thought, he knew that Clawz was over, still that rockets are heavy, and he wanted to sneak in to get that health bonus. But then that totem was waiting there. Oh, so unfortunate for him. And now Clawz, 50 seconds to go. Can he ride this one out and secure his spot in the semifinals? He's going to find Raisy.
He hits the rail too. He's looking for the push in. The rocket's going to land, and Raisy will unfortunately be knocked out of the tournament. And Clawz coming back in the last few seconds does take down his teammate. Obviously, a lot of respect between both these players, but even with Raisy losing that match, he played so damn well. I honestly am so damn impressed with him, and he should be obviously very happy with his performance, getting through to the top 8. But you know Raisy wanted the rematch. You know he wanted to go up against Rafa in the semifinals if he could. But Clawz, what a game out of him.
That was amazing. And if we're going to take a look at the scoreboard, which should appear on screen shortly, first going to get the final highlight.
Forget the scoreboard. I want to see the replays. Look at this. Raisy with dual LG. Clawz is still able to beat out against him with the rockets. And the rails he was hitting, look at it from his point of view. If he didn't connect those shots, he would have been a goner, and that actually could have been Raisy advancing through. Just that 1 second, that one little play.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous. And Jahar, I'm looking at you across the desk. That was a ridiculous first game, and that was just our first of today.
Not like this. Oh, man, the totem. That totem. And really that last frag where the BJ play for Raisy where He was knocked down to like, what, 24 health. He was able to come back up to 25. I wish I could see more stats about, like, you know, health picked up, where it was picked up, because Raisy was really wondering, what can I even pick up right now? What's safe? I'm railable, but I'm out in mid.
Look at the HP healed, by the way, 3,600 to 2,400.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
the Galena play. I mean, Flea really called it there. Just the fact that Clawz had consistent totem usage. Raisy wasn't pushing into the heavy armor side of the map very often, so there was no real opportunity to kill those totems, which meant that after every fight, after every frag, Clawz could come up to, you know, 175 health very quickly.
He maintained in like one of these like fights that happened 175 HP for like a good 30, 40 seconds, it felt like, because he had the totem down, stacked up, fought, backed away to a totem, stacked up from that, fought, put a totem down, stacked up, fought, and there was just like no chance for Raisy to really get a good grasp of how much HP Clawz had left.
And he could have prolonged that. I mean, you're saying 30, 40 seconds. He could have made it into a minute easy, because he just, at the end, he started dodging his own totems. They were up near rockets, they were up on bridge, and he just walked past them because he wanted to not immediately get the healing. But also important to note is that when we were looking at the scoreboard, the item pickups were actually massively favoring Clawz. Clawz had like 45 something majors picked up, and Raisy had a lot less of those. So it's not just the damage, but also overall control coming out of Clawz.
Well, that's the thing about Raisy, right? Is that when he plays passive, he doesn't care about map control. He cares about getting a fight in the situation he wants. So he's more than happy to give the stack away, as we did see yesterday against Cypher multiple times. It's just about getting that one fight, that one opportunity, that first shot most importantly, which is such a massive thing when it comes to Quake, is being the first one firing and first one connecting with damage.
And he really set a precedent on Molten Falls with Raisy being able to, like you said, Flea, get that first frag in and then play the clock, play the map, and play around Clawz. And I haven't seen Clawz get the drop on, like, so many times. There are many situations where Clawz just had no idea where Raisy was, and either Raisy didn't fire, which takes a lot of effort and mental fortitude by itself, or he went in for the kill and he was able to execute on it. That's actually quite remarkable by itself. And Clawz, many times after that first shot came out of Raisy, it took a little while to figure out where the damage was coming from, and that was everything for Raisy. But then on Blood Covenant, like, yeah, you're right, the Galena play, you just cannot work around that just by being passive.
Yeah, and I think that was a read into this as well for Clawz, because he chose the Galena only on this map. He only chose it in this situation.
I want to make a read, but yeah, there it is.
Well, the thing is, he chose Galena last as well. So it's like he had the opportunity to go death fight, but when he saw Galena on the other side, he's like, all right, maybe I should go Galena as well. That way I can deal with the burst damage you do, and if you keep playing passive against me, I'm going to stack the totems, and I'll have that massive health pool.
Now, earlier we were talking a little bit about, well, the Nyx coming out of Raisy. That's a little bit unusual for him, but he used Nyx incredibly well.
Yeah, he definitely did. I mean, he got a lot of good drops on Clawz as well. Clawz did the same thing, though. Clawz's Nyx, I would say, was even better than Raisy's. He got, at several times, just went in, because you have to commit or you have to just back away. And Clawz just went for it every single time almost. He used that Ghost Walk, and he would just sprint past Raisy, get behind him, and just rocket him in the back.
Again, that goes down to knowledge, right? It goes down to, you know, the cerebral play, hey, Spud Hunter, of knowing how much damage you did.
Yep.
And knowing, like, what you can do in this next fight. Because as a Nyx, when you get aggressive with a Ghost Walk, you have the first shot, like, 99% of the time, unless you eat a rocket. So you have that first shot for Shotgun Blast, you have the Rail, you have the LG, and in general, Clawz read those fights really well.
Well, I've certainly just only now been able to catch my breath. I wish I had a pulse monitor on my wrist, because it's still pounding. But hopefully, Clawz has been able to catch his breath for a brief word after the match. Do we have you, Clawz? Hey, there he is. GG. How you feeling?
Feels good, man, as always.
That went to 3 maps, and Molten Falls was all over the place, and then you were able to bring it back in Ruins. But starting with the Molten Falls matchup, there was a lot of times without a lot of action.
Yeah, because I have to adjust a lot to Raisy, since I never played him before, only once, maybe on an online tournament. And what can I say, that he has really unique playstyle, and he plays the game in the way it really should be played.
And of course, that kind of led into the next few maps where you had a little bit of time to adapt. Ruins to Sarnath was really the beginning of that. Do you just think that map didn't really let Raisy do what he was doing well?
On Ruins, he just took way too many fights, and that's it.
And then, of course, on Blood Covenant, that one lasted a long time, and you definitely had a bit of a strategy going with the Galena totems really setting up on the heavy side.
Yeah, it was first time I actually stacked totems in my life in duel, because I knew that I probably won't be able to control both Mega and Heavy, and I needed to stack, because I need to fight Kill, who has also big stack.
Was that a
Grenades.
deliberate champion pick from the very start? Did you know when going into Blood Covenant that you wanted to play
No, I
Galena?
wanted to mirror his pick.
Okay.
Wait, so why did you want to mirror his pick then with the Galena at the end?
I don't know, I don't care.
All right.
We also, Clawz, we also saw you play pretty passively at times on Ruins, and that's something that you typically don't do. Is that also, did you just adapt to Raisy on the fly, or did you practice that in any way?
Yeah, because when you're playing him, you just don't hear any sound on the map, and I thought that I also should not do any sound because he can be on every corner, and I had to really play much more passive.
Okay.
And of course, you know, you get to go forward into the semifinals now. It's all best of 5 from here on out. So looking at your potential competitors, who are you looking forward to most?
I want to play Sirius. I didn't play him.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are
Probably
out
gonna
for
be
blood against
interesting
him.
match. Yeah.
It's a battle for who has the better LG,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess, for
I
that
have
one.
better LG.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to start giving you advice now. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us here, Clawz. Good luck in the semifinals. Well earned indeed. And yeah, we're going to be looking forward to the next match very, very shortly. It's going to be right down the list with us in the quarterfinals, and it's just going to keep getting more and more intense. But that one, to kind of kick things off, that was an intense match.
Yeah, for the first of 7 today.
Oh, yeah.
To now, like, to have, I'm gone, I'm done. I'm like done for the day. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
I'm
let's go
still
back to the
kind of feeling a
hotel.
little bit shaky from that. I wasn't even playing.
Yeah, and then to go into Rafa versus Sirius next.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
who knows what's going to happen? Because when we talked to Sirius, we asked, like, you know, did you play against Rafa? And he said, yeah, he played like 3 games. That was it. And didn't really, like, try to download him that much. He beat him on Awoken, he said, very, very quickly. Like, the fastest reaction I've ever seen. How did someone answer a question?
yeah.
I'm curious if we're going to have that map come in.
Yeah, might very well. I mean, Sirius, I think, has got a very wide map pool, as just about any player does at this point. But it's going to be very interesting to see. Sirius has got those amazing combat skills, and Rafa, as we discussed yesterday, is much more of a tactician, a methodological player. So going to be interesting to see.
Everybody's been preparing in their own special way, and I think everybody's been kind of understating exactly how tense they are feeling about these matches. And well earned. We've got 50K to play for, and we're going to get rolling into the next quarterfinal in just a moment. I'll catch you on the flip side.